Earnings season is kicking off this week, and of course, that means we are covering some of the best names in the S&P 500. This season, I want to expand the amount of businesses I normally look at to get a more holistic view of the economy. If you typically watch my channel, you know I have a very tech-heavy and financial services bent, but this time we're looking at a simple business. Well, it seems simple. This business is there to provide for a big football game or something quick for when you don't feel like cooking. This is Domino's Pizza, a steady yet growing pizza chain. Welcome to The Quality Investor. I've not been posting as much the last couple of weeks, and that's because I've been extremely busy at work and with family. But with earnings season back in swing and my other obligations calming down, I'll be back to posting 2 to 3 videos a week. So please tune in for all the upcoming earnings analysis. Domino's Pizza is an interesting business. It's certainly not a fast-growing business, but it is a steady compounder and can serve an important role in one's portfolio, which I'll get to that later. But I also want to discuss it today for another reason, and that is as an economic bellwether of sorts. It's no secret that pizza in general, and especially pizza delivery, has become quite pricey. Where I live, it is common to have $5 to $6 delivery fees, and that's on top of service fees, taxes, and does not include tip. What used to be a filling $12 meal can now run up to $30. The point here is that having pizza delivered, even from the largest national chain by revenue, has become a luxury that is first on the chopping block when things get tight. But before we get into it, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second, helps us grow, and you can stay on top of all the quality businesses in the market. Right now, we are living in a strange economy. The recent tariff market sell-off notwithstanding, the S&P 500 has been performing very well since April's lows, up roughly 30%. On Main Street, however, the situation is a bit more dire. Unemployment has been ticking up steadily throughout 2025, and job creation has slowed dramatically during the summer months. I've linked some sources in the description. I won't get into the reasons behind this because this video and broadly the channel is about investing in quality businesses. Yet a part of that is assessing how businesses perform during distressed economic times. For that reason, I thought Domino's, as Main Street as it gets for food consumption, would be a good indicator of how the consumer might be doing. And from a big picture perspective, all the earnings coming out the next 2 months will reflect the economic tightening we witnessed over the summer. So after a quick summary of Domino's as a business, we'll look at their earnings and assess what a reasonable price may be if we wanted to add this pizza chain to our portfolios. You might think that Domino's main source of revenue is pizza sales, but that is not quite true. They have a franchise model, and well over 95% of their stores are franchise owned, meaning it is the franchisee booking pizza sales. Domino's largest revenue segment is actually their supply chain segment, followed by franchise royalties at 60% and 20% of revenue respectively. What that means is that Domino's actually makes most of their money by selling the ingredients of their food and the equipment to franchise owners. This, of course, ensures quality control and adherence to branding, and that arrangement is profitable for the corporation and for franchisees. They also earn revenue from collecting fees from franchisees earmarked for advertising. This isn't exactly cost-free income, though, as it generally goes to fund advertising and marketing expenses for national campaigns. So when assessing a business like Domino's, we want to see growth in franchise royalties, indicating store count growth and sales growth, as well as supply chain growth, indicating volume growth. More sales lead to more orders for ingredients. This quarter, though, despite elevated food and commodity prices, as well as softening consumer spending, Domino's saw a beat on both the top and bottom lines. Revenue came in at $1.147 billion in earnings at $4.08 per share. But most importantly, Same-store sales grew 5.2%, above the 4.5% estimated by The Street. And on a year-to-date basis, Domino's continues to compound free cash flow, now up 32% year over year. This all led to a healthy 3.9% gain post-earnings. So let's dive in and take a closer look at their surprising earnings report. Looking at the initial results here, we see for their global retail sales. So this is what the stores themselves have collected in revenue from their actual pizza sales, not the corporate revenue. You can see that they brought in $4.7 billion in this third quarter. But what's good here is that's 6.3% year over year growth. What we've seen throughout 2025 for Domino's is accelerating growth each quarter in 2025. So despite a lackluster economy on Main Street, Domino's is seeing accelerated growth throughout 2025. And then we see that same store growth here at 5.2%. So very good results initially here for a business that relies heavily on discretionary spending. Looking at the corporate results, we see that $1.147 billion in total revenues, a nice 6.2% year over year increase. But what really stands out in my opinion is an 11.3% gross margin for the supply chain. Like I said, the corporate sells their ingredients, equipment, and whatnot to the franchisees, but the cost of goods sold for the supply chain and the prices that they can sell it to the franchisees for are all very dependent on what the underlying commodity prices are, cheese, pizza sauce, things like that. But they expanded that margin by 70 basis points in the third quarter year over year. So despite inflation and value-seeking behavior from the consumer, Domino's was able to attribute this increase in supply chain revenues to higher order volumes and higher food basket pricing to stores. So Domino's was able to raise prices slightly, and they're getting increased order volumes here from their stores. All of this in a very difficult environment right now economically. And looking at other positives here, we see their operating income up 12.2% year over year, and free cash flow year to date $496 million in free cash flow, up 31.8% year over year. A very strong number for this business. Domino's corporate is very capital light. Remember, a lot of those costs for the capital expenditure of building out stores is passed down to the franchisee. So they're able to really compound free cash flow at that corporate level and return that to shareholders. And I'll show you what they do in a second. Here's a breakdown of their revenue by segment. The company-owned stores did fall a bit, 82.7 million versus 89.1 million a year ago. But that supply chain grew nicely, 696 million versus 651 million over a year ago, 7% year over year increase. Advertising was at a 131.6 million versus 120.9 million a year ago, an 8.86% increase. So we already saw that the revenues went up by 6.2% year over year, but look at the income from operations. Not only did that grow by 12-ish%, they also expanded the operating margin to 19.5% from 18.4% 1 year ago. So despite all the talk that we're hearing right now about how the economy is very lackluster, and to be fair, it's not progressing as I thought it would by this point in the year, Domino's themselves is performing above expectations, and generally they're performing better than their industry peers. Remember what I said at the outset of this video. How do good businesses perform in distressed economic times? Well, Domino's Pizza is proving themselves to be a strong player despite economic uncertainty. Domino's released their earnings pre-market on Tuesday, October 14th, and that resulted in a nice 3.9% climb in the market, closing at $424.23. So you can see their 5-day chart here, a nice little bump post-earnings, indicating that the market's liking what they see with Domino's. They beat both on the top line and the bottom line, but really it's that same store growth, I think, that impressed the investors the most. So Domino's remains in a strong position going forward. One more thing I want to point out before we get to the valuation summary is Domino's is capturing market share. In the fiscal third quarter, Domino's achieved positive order growth in the US. The promotional initiatives fueled strong momentum across both delivery and carryout channels. And management emphasized that the company's strategic consistency and execution excellence position it to capture additional QSR pizza market share globally in 2025 and beyond. So they've already grown market share throughout 2025, and they believe they're going to continue to grow that market share as we head into the fourth quarter of 2025 and into 2026 and beyond. So again, Domino's is very well positioned. They're executing very well. This is a very strong business that provides a very simple product. And whether or not you're a fan of the pizza, the bottom line is Domino's is executing for their investors. The growth rates I'm projecting for revenue over the next 10 years for Domino's are here as follows. U.S. company-owned stores down 3% on a bear case to about flat for the bull case. It seems like they're really focusing more on the franchise growth, which means franchise royalties. I'm projecting to grow at about 4.9% up to 6.9% on the bull. Supply chain growth, very similar to the royalties here, 4.9% on the bear up to 6.8% on the bull case. You can see the 5-year CAGRs here. 8.3% for franchise royalties, 6.2% for supply chain growth. Internationally, they do have some strong growth there as well. 5.75% on the 5-year historical CAGR, but I'm projecting about 3% growth here on the bear case up to just 5% on the bull case. In the US advertising, 6.25% bear case growth up to 8% on the bull case. But a lot of the advertising, remember, it's earmarked to fund their advertising campaign, so it's not really cost-free income here. In year one, I'm estimating about $4.9 billion in revenue for the corporate office here at about 4.5% year-over-year growth. Operationally, their operating margin, 19.14% on a trailing 12 basis. I'm projecting 18% on the bear case up to 22% on the bull case. And coming down to free cash flow margin, they're at 13% free cash flow margin right now. Very healthy free cash flow margin. On the bear case, I have it at 10.5%, growing to 15.5% on a bull case if they execute phenomenally. And I do think I'm being pretty conservative here. If we look here at their free cash flow conversion, which is how much net income they convert into free cash flow for every dollar of net income, $1.07 on a trailing 12 basis. On the bull case, I have it at $1.05. So I am being pretty conservative on my free cash flow estimates. So with the pop that we saw in the market yesterday, what does that mean for a reasonable entry price? Domino's closed at $424.23. That's a PE ratio of 24.8, which is actually quite below their 5 and 10-year average. That makes sense because they are slowing down in growth, but historically they are cheap. Their forward PE sits at 24.2, also below their 5 and 10-year average. And based on a reverse DCF here, the market is pricing in 7.2% free cash flow growth annually over the next 10 years, pretty much in line with my base case DCF at 7.22% free cash flow growth. My discounted cash flow price on the bear is $240.27. On the bull, it's at $453.60. But like I said earlier, Domino's place in the portfolio isn't for their growth, it's for their dividend. They have a very strong dividend. And that dividend discount price here is at $624.08 on the bear case. But if they really pay out a strong dividend over the next few years, that climbs to $1,172.99 in the bull case. Their dividend sits at $6.96 per share right now, and I'm estimating 12% growth annually on the bear case for their dividend, but 16% growth annually for the bull case. Now, their 10-year CAGR for their dividend growth is at 19.7%. So this is a strong dividend payer, and their free cash flow payout ratio sits below 40% right now. So there's a lot of room for this dividend to grow. So I believe that's where the real value proposition for Domino's lies. It's in their dividend, not so much in their future growth expectations. Exit multiple, I have them at $463.25. My comps for them are McDonald's, Yum Brands, Restaurant Brands International, and Papa John's. So without any margin of safety right now, we have a buy price for Domino's at $502.25 and a forward PE of 28.6, which you can see would be right in between their 5 and 10-year average. However, 20% margin of safety for Domino's I think is reasonable, which means we have a buy price of $401.80. So they would actually have to come down now from their little pop yesterday in the market to be something reasonable to add to the portfolio. If you were to add Domino's to your portfolio, I would expect at best performance in line with the S&P 500. But if you're a more dividend-oriented investor and you're looking to add some passive income, Domino's I do think is a very good investment. So once you factor in that return with the dividend, you might actually match or slightly beat the S&P 500 in the long term. Either way, Domino's is a very strong business. They have a very good business model. They're growing steadily and they are compounding free cash flow, which they return to investors in the form of share repurchases. They've decreased their share count by about 2.25% this year, and in the form of a very strong dividend. Thank you for watching today's video. And if you've made it this far, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Thank you and happy investing.